Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. I sat down and it said there were 40 seconds until I was supposed to go live. My name is Sarah Simon. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. And I'm so excited to be with you today. Hello. Oh my goodness, lots of people. Melanie and Kelly and Betty and Julie, Nancy, Joan, Mary, Jeanne, Karen, Crystal, Dee, um, I think that's Karen Wetstein was the first Karen I said. And um, Kay, and thank you guys all for joining me. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And like I said, I'm coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. I might have said that twice now. So today I had a card buffet that went until 12 o'clock. And I'm not going to lie that I woke up this morning at 5. I set my alarm for 5 because I didn't have any cards made yet for today for my live. So it's kind of been a crazy morning this morning, but I'm here and I'm ready to stamp with you and I'm excited to stamp with you. Hello, Cheryl. So, um, Today, I'm going to be doing an easy layout that comes from our holiday catalog. And then I have a fun fold for you. And I'm going to be mixing a little bit of fall and a little bit of Christmas because I know this morning when I was asking the ladies in my stamp club or my card buffet, I said to them, what do you prefer next month? Do you want Christmas? It's October. And they're like, yes, we want some Christmas. We want lots of Christmas. So anyway, everybody's kind of in the Christmas, like, need to get started on those Christmas cards. And so I'm going to share with you a Christmas card today that could also be used as a tag if you wanted to use it as a tag. So I'm trying to think if anyone else jumped on. So hello, Michelle. Good afternoon. So I want to share some happy mail that I received. I received this beautiful. I have to look to remember. This is from Kathy Kessler. Isn't this a beautiful card? I love this technique. So she has these pieces that are just folded back so you can see both sides of the piece of paper. And I will maybe do this sometime to show you how she made that happen if you haven't seen that before. It's really cool. And then look at this cute card that I received from, oh, and I don't have the message here. If you are on here, you have to let me know. I don't know where my little message went. I set it aside. And I'm trying to think who I received this from. Isn't this cute? Wishing you a happy school year with the little alphabet on there. And oh gosh, it was a typed up message or handwritten message so that the inside is blank. And I set it aside and I didn't put it with the card. So if you are on here and you made this and sent it to me, please let me know so I can give you credit. Otherwise, I'll let you know next week. And then, and I think she said she was going to watch the replay. So I don't know if she's on here, but on Wednesday, I had my card buffet. I offer it on 4 different days. And so Wednesday I had 9 people here and it was just crazy. Um, and so I was like running around and after everyone left and I was cleaning stamps, I saw an envelope and it had my name on it. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Um, I don't know who this is from. And so I went and I opened it up, and one of the ladies that was there and I don't know if she handed it to me and I set it down in the craziness and then never got around to opening it, or if she just left it sitting on I have like a little island, and not an island, it's not really an island. It's kind of like a raised counter. And she just set it there. But look at this. Oh, isn't that cute? And it just says, congratulations, so very deserving. So if you didn't see on Facebook, I qualified for the Disney trip with Stampin' Up! For the incentive trip. So thank you to all of you who support me and help me in any way to earn that trip. Honestly, ladies, I never in a million years thought that I would be a demonstrator that earned the incentive trip, because when I started this, I was just going to be a hobby demonstrator. And how in the world I ever got to this, I have no idea. But I'm really, really excited. And what's even more exciting is that my friend Kathy Miller, who I is kind of my partner in crime when we do some stamping things. We bounce ideas off of each other. We share ideas. We sometimes share cards for different events that we have. We do some online things. We're starting to do some online things together, but she earned it the day before I did. And the person who purchased the order to put me over the top was actually her. She reached out that morning and she said, "How close are you?" And I said, "I'm $64 away." And she placed a $70 order. And that was just so amazing. Such a wonderful friend that I have in her. So, but thank you, Karen. This card is absolutely adorable. All right, how about some prizes? Let's give away some prizes. Last week we did this easy layout that was in one of the layouts, and we're going to do an easy layout again today. That's in the mini catalog, the ones in the front. And this is using some of our designer series paper and a fun stamp set and dies. And then this, they told me, looked absolutely awful. The colors did on my live last week, because the ladies that came for my team meeting were like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so different in person." So here's the card that we made with the little reindeer. I think underneath my lights, they said this looked really pink instead of red. So this was the little reindeer card that we made, and it's a little fun fold that opens like that. And we have a matching envelope. And receiving these for placing a comment last week is Brenda Dexheimer. So, Brenda, congratulations. I will be getting these off in the mail to you. And then for commenting, I'm not commenting, for sharing. Anytime you share, please in the comments, kind of like Tammy Litsky did there, she put that she shared. Dee said that she shared. Thank you for all of you that are saying congratulations. I appreciate that. If you share, you also get put into a drawing, and I receiving a pack of these earth tone shimmer gems. Now these, I don't know if you can see, can you see those little sparkle there kind of when they hit the light the right way? Oh, they're so cool. And they're in garden green. There's off-white, and then there's some white ones up on the top, and then there's pecan pie. So getting these for sharing last week is Shanna Roberts. So Shanna, I will send these off in the mail to you. And then we have all of these people who placed orders free shipping day. So I earned the Stampin' Up! Trip. Kathy put me over the top with her $70 order. And then like a day, like that same day, later in the day, they announced that there was free shipping. So a lot of people took advantage of the free shipping, which I don't blame you. So I have a lot of names here, and I thought I would do that one live. So I've got them all on the table. I'm just gonna reach in here and pick one of them out. And the winner is Shanna Roberts, you're a double winner. And so, Shanna, you will be getting this Enjoying Little Things, which is a fun little stamp set for any type of occasion. They've got like a little dog on there. There's some flowers, a little cupcake, and a little plant. And you can cut or punch these out with circles. It's a fun stamp set. So I will get both of those off in the mail to you, Shanna. So thank you all for your orders. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking for next week when I have a little bit more time, because I won't have card buffet next week right before, and I won't have all of that work that I have to do to get ready for it. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to do a creative challenge, and the creative challenge is going to be for 2 weeks, because the week after that is World Card Making Day. And so I'll be live 3 times on World Card Making Day, and I'm going to be featuring a different bundle or suite of products each time that I go live. And so there will be chances to win at each one of those. I'm working on getting a spinning wheel that will pick the winners live online. And so I figured if I do a creative challenge, that gives everybody a couple of weeks to kind of do a creative challenge. For those of you who are new to me, is where I do a fun fold. I create a card that's in a fun fold, and then I challenge you to make a card using that same fold or the same layout. And then if you post a picture of that card, you get entered into a drawing to win the bundle of your choice. And so I'm feeling kind of generous, because I feel like I need to give back to all of you who helped me get there. So we will do a creative challenge starting next week. So, all right. Anything else? Yes, congratulations to the winners. Thank you for all of you who are congratulating the winners. And I think I'm ready to flip the camera I think I'm ready to flip the camera. There we go. I am going to go turn my overhead light off. Because I have a lot less shadows when I do that. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, I am going to start with the layout card. And let me here is our mini catalog, which I can now open. I could last week already too. At the beginning, just like they did in our annual catalog, they have these fun layouts. So they have layouts for tags and for cards. So last week we did this one right here for our first card. Today we're going to do this one right here. So I just went down and I'm like, okay, let's start another one. I'm just going to show you how you can take what's in there. Oh, thanks, Aunt Mary. We're going to go ahead and show you how you can take these ideas and create cards from them. And so I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do it using one stamp set, and then I'm going to show you a sample of what I did using another one. Yes, I have two samples of it, and I didn't make them until today. It's been a crazy morning. All right, let's go ahead and let's see. I have to get to here to give you my measurements. All right, our card base is going to be Granny Apple Green. And I have to get down. I'm in the wrong one here. There we go. This is 8.5 by 4.25, it should say. Oh my goodness, I have to change this. Let me edit it real quick. This is what happens when you're doing things on the fly. So 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25. I think I didn't change the measurements from last time, or I did and I forgot to hit save. There we go. That's better. 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4.25. So this is Granny Apple Green. This is going to be our Christmas card. All right. Then I have a layer of Real Red that measures 4 by 5.25. And I ended up running this through our dashing design embossing folder, which somebody said that it looks like paper towels, like the quilting on paper towels, and I think it does. I think it's so cool. It's one of my favorite embossing folders. So this is Real Red. I also have a basic white from the inside that measures that exact same size. So that's also 4 by 5.25. I have some designer series paper. That's for our envelope flap. Okay, this is the fun. You can say take a bow or take a bow. It's a bow. It's part of our bow maker, bow making. What do I want to call it? Bundle. So this is the designer paper. You get 4 different patterns, actually 8 different patterns. There's 4 sheets. Each side has 2 pattern, or each sheet has 2 patterns. So you get quite a bit of each one in a pack. So this is the 2 by 4.125. I also have another little piece of that measures 1/2 inch by 4 inches. That's going to be for the inside. All right, and that's all I have for that. I have a scrap of paper that we're going to do some stamping and coloring. I have another scrap that's going to be for our greeting, and I have another scrap that's going to be layering our greeting. Okay, so we've got some stamping to do, and we have some coloring to do. So here are going to be my blends that I'm going to use. I've got to unpack my container here. We are going to be using, and let me see if I can find the stamp set on my table here. I thought I put it in here, but I don't see it here. We're going to be using this star cutout. And in particular today, we're going to be using the little Santa Claus. I'm going to grab, like I said, I'm not the most organized today because I was running really, really late. So Sweetest Star is the stamp set. So there's a little Mrs. Claus, a Santa Claus, and a gingerbread man. There's this cute little snowflake that you can put up in the corner. You could put it in all 4 corners. And then you have some fun greetings. So wishing you a holly jolly Christmas, sweet wishes, make baking spirits bright, and may your days be merry and bright. So that's this bundle we're going to be using for this card today. So I am going to pull out this is a white craft ink pad that I purchased. And then I ended up putting some of our Tuxedo Black Memento ink refill on it to fill the pad so that I have that foam instead of the normal Memento pad. Brenda, you're jumping on late and you won. You won one of the drawings for today. So I will get that in the mail to you. All right, so I'm going to stamp our little Santa Claus. Isn't he cute? We're going to color him. And then we're going to use the greeting that says, wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. And this was really long. So I'm going to try to get this on this strip of white paper that I have here. Ooh, I did a pretty darn good job on that, if I do say so myself. And then on the inside, we're going to do, may your days be merry and bright. I love how nice and crisp and clear the images are stamped when I use this stamp pad over the plain Memento. It's still the Memento ink because it's the refill that I put in this pad. All right, I'm going to set that aside because I'll need that later. All right, we are going to color our little Santa Claus here. And I am using the light basic black. And I'm going to do his gloves, his belt, and his little boots down here in black. I couldn't remember if Santa's gloves were red. I couldn't remember if his mittens were red or if they were black. So I'm making them black. They maybe are red. I couldn't remember at 5 o'clock about 5:30 this morning when I was settling in on this. Actually, this was the second card I made. So it was probably more like 6:30. I like colored in my Santa Claus and I had them, and then I had to figure out what in the world am I going to do with them. So the ladies who were here for my card buffet, the first ones here, they kind of helped me with that. Then his suit is going to be in red, but I'm going to leave like the little, this is supposed to be like the little fur at the end of his suit coat. And again, like the top part of his hat is going to be the white little fur. So I'm going to leave that white. Hello, Carol from Texas. Thanks for joining us. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I could have colored this ahead of time, but wanted to show you how easy it is, and it doesn't really take that much time to color in these images. Now, the other thing that you could do is you could stamp it on red paper if you wanted to, or you could stamp it in white and like emboss in white on red paper if you wanted to. You could make it look like actual, like the gingerbread one you could do in pecan pie. It looks just like gingerbread, believe it or not. So I've seen some cards made that way, and they're just so adorable. Hi, Diane. Glad you could join us. We're really just getting started with the stamping. I'm on the very first card. Started at 12:30 because I had my card buffet. I barely got started at 12:30. Let's just say I started, but I don't think that I was completely here mentally yet at 12:30. All right. Get his pants all colored in here. All right. And then around his belt, I'm going to do This is a dark daffodil, just to kind of make it look like it's a gold buckle there. And his nose I'm going to do in a little bit of Flirty Flamingo, the light Flirty Flamingo. So I can bring this up so you can see that a little bit closer. And then I have one of our skin tones. I'm going to color in his face and his ears. Whoops, and I missed a little bit of his hat. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring in my Wink of Stella. Now, when you use this Wink of Stella on here, you have to be, I wanted his, all of this little, his beard and the little fur on the end of him. I wanted that all to sparkle, but you have to be very careful not to let your brush get into the red because it will run the red ink if you do that. So you just have to be really careful to stay within the lines of, I think I have to squirt this a little bit. You don't want to ever squirt it over your image because if you've ever done that, anyone who's ever done it knows not to do it again because it comes out in a clump and then you have glitter all over your thing and you have to start over with your coloring and stuff. You really have to be careful on the ends here not to get that into the red or it will smear. Just a little top there. Okay, and I know Wink of Stella is something you probably don't see at home, but I can tell you that this does have a sparkle to it and a shine. Okay, once I have this done, we have a coordinating punch that will punch that out. So I don't even have to fussy cut around it. I'm just going to, for our punches, there's a little bit of a white edge that's around the outside of the image that it leaves. So I get it lined up, and when I think I have it lined up, I kind of press it down a little bit and check to make sure, yep, that looks like it's good. And then I press hard. And I always punch ours with the top with, so I can see the image so I can have everything lined up rather than punching it with it down. Okay. Any color you want the mittens to be. Thanks, Bonnie. Mine are black. All right, so there's that. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to trim this up just a little bit. I'm going to grab a scissors. And I really wanted this to be really close. So I started with a 1/2 inch strip, knowing that I was going to be trimming some off. Okay, and I didn't feel if I cut it like at a 1/4 inch that I was going to be able to get it stamped inside of that. So I just started with a 1/2 inch and I just trimmed around it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to break this up because this barely fits across the bottom here. So I wanted to make this a little smaller. So I'm going to do wishing you a, and a cut right there, holly, jolly, and Christmas, right? Then I'm going to layer those on here. So I didn't want to layer it before because I'm going to actually trim this up a little bit. Get my trimmer in here so we don't have to cut as much off. I'll do a 1/2 inch and we'll see how that works. I didn't want to cut it or glue it down first because I want there to be this green around each of the little words. So I'm going to take just take some liquid glue. And we'll put wishing you a, trim that off. And we'll do holly. I think I can just do all of these on here and I'll just cut in between them. So holly, jolly, Oh, I have way too much glue on there. Let's see if I can spread it a little bit more this time. Should have gotten my glue press up. I didn't have it open because I didn't use it yet today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut around here. Once that glue dries, I'll take my little adhesive remover and I'll remove some of that. Might actually go get some of it right now. There we go. All right, while I have my scissors out, I'm going to take this 4 1/8 inch and I'm going to cut this into a banner. If you remember what the picture looked like that I'm copying, I'll bring it back in here. The layout that I'm copying is this one right here. So it has this little strip right here is going to be a little banner that we're going to have to cut. So I'm going to cut the little end of the banner. I have a little circle that I cut out already, and we're going to put our star right in front of there. And where we cut those words apart, we're going to put that where this little line, where this little greeting would be on that rectangle. So I'm changing it up just a little bit to fit what I have for products that I'm using. So when I make something into a banner, I look to find about the middle. If you feel like you need to measure it to make sure you're right in the middle, you can. But I just go up a little bit and then I go from the corner to where the end of that is. And then I do the same thing at the other corner. I go from the corner to that middle point. All right, so there's our little flag. And did I not get the circle out? Here's my circle. It's in Granny Apple Green. And we're going to put our Santa Claus right on the center of that circle. I wanted to bring that green. There's Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, and then real red in this paper. So I asked the ladies who were here, instead of giving you a vote, they voted. And they voted for the Granny Apple Green. So we did Granny Apple Green. All right, and then this layer right here, emboss layer, I don't want to lose any of these words. We're going to set that up there. Our emboss layer is going to be the first layer. Let me grab a bone folder. I don't do a lot of these secular type cards, but I thought this would be even cute to have as you could make almost as a tag. Especially with that little flagged, like the designer paper, you could layer on either some real red or on some Granny Apple Green. And you could almost make a tag into it. I don't mind putting things on gifts, but for my cards, I usually like to use more of a religious card. After all, that's why we celebrate Christmas, right? Christ's name is right in the word of the holiday that we celebrate. So I always like to do something religious with my cards. Okay, so we're going to have our banner go across. And by doing it 4 1/8, this is the 1/4 of an inch, and then the 1/8 is that little bit that's on there. So it'll stay, it won't be so long that, just gonna get it over here a little bit. It'll hang off the edge. It should go right to the edge of your card by making it 4 1/8. Hi, Kay. All right, then we're going to put him up on some dimensionals. Now I could have put the star itself on dimensionals, but I'm going to put one of the greetings, part of the greeting, across his arms, sort of, so to speak. And so I didn't want to have him on dimensionals, have the circle on dimensionals, have the word on dimensionals, because now I've got 3 different things layered up on dimensionals. So I always like to keep it so that there's no more than 2 things that are raised up. So I decided it looked nice to have that raised up. And then we're going to raise this up like he's carrying or he's wishing us. And then we'll put the holly and the jolly. Here's the jolly. Here's the Christmas. Where's our holly? Oh no, don't tell me I lost it. Anyone see it? It couldn't have gone too far, right? I've been sitting here the whole time. Okay, we're not going to panic. I'm just going to put this up and then we'll see if we can find it anywhere here. Here it is. Found it. All right, I'm just putting some dimensionals on this greeting. Wishing you putting that right between his arms. Holly. Jolly. And Christmas. All right, so I'm going to kind of dry fit where I want them. So holly, jolly. Going to kind of not make them all straight. I might make that one straight. That one might go like that. Okay, I think that's going to be it. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Holly, jolly, and Christmas. All right, going to add this greeting. Now I played around with ribbon. I used our silver trim and I added a little bit and I'm like, no, you know what? I think I'm going to go back to the simplicity that was the what was the layout, and they didn't show any ribbon or anything behind it. So I decided just to use the circle, use the designer paper as kind of my ribbon across this way, and then do our circle like they showed. And then I'll add a little bit of that designer paper to the inside of our card. All right, and then I'm gonna grab some of and these, I used them this morning because they were back in stock, and guess what? They're on back order again. Oh, I can't believe that they're on back order again. So these are our real red and white adhesive back peppermints, which are so cute. It's no wonder they keep going on back order, right? Just gonna add a couple of these. So there's three different, we used these last week too. There's three different sizes. So I'm going to put one of each size kind of along the words down here. I think this one might have to go up a little bit. Put this one up here a little bit. There we go. So wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. May your days be merry and bright. Super easy layout. Let's go ahead and add some of that designer paper to the envelope. Again, some of these layouts that they have, I mentioned this last week, some of these layouts that they have in the front of both the annual and the holiday catalog, those layouts, some of them are super easy. And if you have to mass produce a lot of cards, it makes it really easy to do something. Now, this one required some coloring, so that's going to take some time. And the way I did it with the words and having to cut them apart took a little bit of time, but I didn't have to die cut a lot of stuff, just that circle and then I ran it through the embossing folder. So there's our card number 1. All right, the other sample that I quickly made this morning uses the snow days. And this is actually just some designer paper that I punched and I layered it on the stylish shapes. It's the second to the largest of the stylish shapes. That's what this one was as well. And then I ran this one through a snow embossing folder that we have. And I have some of the little snow gems. And this one I kept a little bit more true to what the image looked like by putting the words just on one single banner across the bottom. Okay, so there is another one, a little bit unique Christmas colors because it's garden green and pool party. But I thought that little penguin was so cute. And you could, if you wanted to, take some Wink of Stella and you could wink him up a little bit with some glitter as well. So there's the same layout and 2 different cards, one using the punch and then the other one, well, this is a 2 3/8 inch punch that I cut the paper out, but here I actually stamped and colored my image. All right, that is card number 1. I'm going to keep my ink pad here. I'll get rid of these. I'll keep this here. My scissors I'm going to keep and make some room for the second card. So here was my sample that I made this morning. All right, second card. We are going to be featuring the More Than Autumn. This is one that people had been asking me if I would make something with it. So I'm using the More Than Autumn stamps or bundle. Let me get these out of here. And this has been a really, really popular bundle because it is more than autumn because it talks about like pumpkin season, autumn, but it also has hot cocoa and it has apple cider, which I guess, but eggnog. It has all these different stamps. It has a donut. We are going to focus on pumpkin since it is fall. But it's just, to me, this was a really, really cute set. And then the dies, I think I put most of them back in here. I've got a couple of them that I had out for my card buffet today. But we're going to use this little latte and it says coffee and you've got like all these words you can cut out. Plus you can cut out all those little images. There's like this little extra leaf in here for fall. And then they have the words that you can cut out. Nothing's better than. We're actually going to stamp ours today, but it's just a fun set. So this one is going to be a fun fold, a fun set doing a fun fold. We are going to be, this is called I think it's called a Dutch door. Sometimes they're called a double Dutch door. Sometimes they're called a barn door. But that's what we're going to be using. That's the fold we're going to be using today. So I'm going to be bringing my trimmer in because I wanted to show you how I cut the base for the card. Okay, so our card base, let me get back up here, is early espresso. And this measures again 5.5 by 8.5. And I scored it at 4.25. And what I want to do is, if this is the front of my card, I want to go down 2 3/4 inches. So that's going to be the halfway point because this is 5.5. And what I want to do is I want to cut off 2 3/4 inches. I said go down, you can go up, however you want to describe it. So we're going to go to 2 3/4 inches. And I only want to cut from this score line. And I have like a little, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little arrow on the side. And I'm going to match that up at 4.25 inches. I'm sorry, I just bumped the camera. That's what happens when I have to see over it. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut there. And then I'm just going to come here at 4.25. Line that up in my track there. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut down just to where I made this so that I cut that top part off. That will leave me with 2 3/4 inches on the bottom as well. Okay. Basically, you're just cutting this little piece of early espresso off. All right, then I have in Lost Lagoon, one of my favorite colors. This is 2.5 by 4 inches, and that'll fit right on there. I have a piece from our designer paper from the Latte Love designer paper, which has the Lost Lagoon, and we're going to be using Calypso Coral as well. It has that in there. I was going to use pecan pie, but I really liked how the early espresso looked with this. So I think that's technically pecan pie, but I decided to go just a little bit darker. So this measures 2.25, not by 4. It should be 3.75. Sorry. Let me hide that. Let me change it. I'm like batting 1,000 here today. I'm not doing so well with my dimensions here. 3.75. I was actually the last person was here making her cards, and she asked me about if I ever put my dimensions up on somewhere that you could see them so you don't have to go back and watch the video. And I said, after she asked me that, I'm like, oh, dimensions. I don't have any of my dimensions in my thing. So I was quickly doing them while she was finishing up her cards. So 2.25 by 3.75. And then I have a piece of Lost Lagoon that is 4 by 5.25. And this plaid embossing folder is actually on back order yet, but I just love this, and I loved how it looked with the plaid from the Latte Love. So that's going to go back there. I have some Calypso Coral that measures 3 by 4.5. And then I have 2 pieces of basic white, and these each measure 2.75 by 4.25 inches. I did cut out from our Spotlight on Nature a circle that is in Lost Lagoon as well. I have a scrap of white to do some of our stamping. I have a scrap of the designer paper because we're going to do some paper piecing. I have some of this that is for our envelope. So let me get our stamps out here. Go ahead and put those right there. We've got Early Espresso ink, and we have Calypso Coral ink because those are the colors that are in the paper. I have some blends. I have some pecan pie, and these are each of the crumb cakes, and I have a little bit of pumpkin pie as well. I could use Calypso Coral. I decided to just grab pumpkin pie because I'm going to be coloring in a pumpkin, so I thought that might be a good one. I'm also going to bring back in my Memento ink. So we are going to stamp the coffee cup. We are going to stamp the cream because we're going to have a latte. And then they have this really, really cute cinnamon stick that you can stick out of the cream. Okay, so I've got the cream for the top for my latte. I've got my cinnamon stick, and I've got my cup. Now you could also have whipped cream for hot cocoa, and they've got a little peppermint stick that you could stick out of the top. There's a lot of different variations. On this little plaid paper, I'm going to take my cup and I'm going to stamp that on there as well. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I should have had a little bit of more blue. Probably should have stamped it this way, but that's right. It's going to work. All right. On one of these, so this is going to be for the outside, I'm going to stamp. I got to stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing. It says, nothing's better than, and I'm going to stamp that towards the top. And then in Calypso Coral along the bottom, I'm going to say pumpkin. And then back in the early espresso spice. And then on the inside, it's going to say, except maybe you. Isn't that cute? So you can add a happy birthday. You could add a thank you. I'll show you how you could add a gift card to this card if you wanted to give them a gift card to go with it. And I'm also going to take the little pumpkin. I'm going to color this with blends. So I'm going to use my Memento ink here. And I'm just going to put a little pumpkin down in the corner. All right, we have dies that will cut out all, get this out of here, that will cut out all of these things right here. And through the magic of TV, I have those already cut out. And I also cut out of early espresso with some of our adhesive sheets on the back. I cut out that little word latte. All right, so we've got our little latte. I don't want to lose that. I can set this aside because I have those cut. So I have my cup, I have my cinnamon stick, and I have my cream. All right, let's do a little bit of coloring. Actually, let's cut first. So paper piecing is when you take a stamp, and now what I'm going to do is, instead of like when you fussy cut, you always leave a little edge around the outside. Here I want to cut right up onto the lined image, and I'm going to cut out this middle section, and I'm going to have that little middle section of the cup, kind of like the little koozie thing that you can put around it. I'm going to have that match the designer paper that is on the bottom of our little barn door thing. Okay, so I cut this out so that I can piece. That's why it's called paper piecing. I'm going to piece that right inside of our cup to make it look like that's a fun little plaid koozie around. I think that's what they call those. That's what they call them with a cup, right? Or with a soda, a can koozie. I think that's what they call them for this too. If not, whatever it is, the little wrap keeps your hands from burning when it's hot, right? And then we're going to take this little latte. And like I said, I put some adhesive sheets on the back of it so that I didn't have to worry about putting glue on it. And I'm just going to peel that off. And we're just going to center that. Okay, now they do have one that says coffee too. I liked the latte with the cream on the top. I'm a latte girl. I'm not even a coffee, I'm a tea. Chai tea is what my favorite is. Okay, I'm going to take the pecan pie and we're going to color our cinnamon stick in with pecan pie. All right, and then our little cup, I'm going to do the darker crumb cake along the top. I thought these would be cute with that take a bow or take a bow paper that we used in the last card, because I don't know about where you are. Tammy's a chai tea also. I always feel like I'm drinking like cinnamon milk when I have a chai tea latte. Um, I know around here, like the line is really, really long at Starbucks on the day that they announced that their holiday cups are going to be coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are going to go just so that they can see what the holiday cup is for the year. It's going to be around for a month, but everybody's got to go that day to see what the holiday cup is for Starbucks that day. So you could definitely, you could do like the outside part because theirs is more like the whole cup, not just the little koozie in the center. But I actually, um, my niece is at the high school that I'm teaching at, and her mom keeps saying she loves that she gets to see you every day. And so this week, one day, I asked her if she wanted Starbucks. So I brought her Starbucks because I come right when she's going to lunch. I usually get there so that I can do a little prep before my class starts right after lunch. And so, whoops, I'm going to center this here a little bit better. Okay. And so I ended up buying a little, it's called a Java sock, and it had all little pumpkins and stuff on it. And I had her little drink that she wanted all decorated or all sitting in the little Java sock. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love this." Like most high school girls would do. But anyway, she's so cute. All right. So I added my little cinnamon stick coming out of the foam from my latte. And we're going to put some dimensionals on this. And I'm going to purposely put some of those dimensionals right over where that cream and cup come together and where the cinnamon stick is. I'm going to make sure that that is stuck together so that doesn't come apart. I'll do a little one, I think, up on the top here. All right, now before I put this down, I thought it would be fun to take some of this polka dotted. Now we're not going to do the polka dot because I've got plaid already going on, but if you flip it over, it's blank on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of this, and I'm just going to have this little strip of this jute trim down below. And I found that the best way to attach that was just to take our tear and tape and throw some tear and tape on the polka dotted side. Now, if you like the polka dotted side, you could use the polka dotted side. Julie's a peppermint mocha person. I'm not, I just can't get into like the coffees and all of that stuff. I'm just not, I would do a hot chocolate. There we go. And we'll pull these off. Had my container there. I'll just set our little, I got this down a little further. I should have. See if I can get it down here. There we go. That'll be better. At least some of the glue. The glue is going to be covered. Oh, there we go. That looks better. All right. And our wink of Stella is going to go in our cream. Get that to shine a little. Sparkle. Right. And now to put our card together. So this piece of white is going to layer on the Calypso coral. Our circle's going to go right inside of there like that. And because I raised up the cup, I'm not going to raise up the circle. I'm trying to be conscious of how thick I'm getting so that I don't have to pay a lot for postage, right? If you raise too many things up, then it's going to cost you too much. Okay, so there's our latte. I'm a little bit crooked here. There we go. There we go. All right. Goodness, I haven't even put all this stuff together. We're going to layer our paper on the Lost Lagoon. And I started with this just 1/8 of an inch smaller. And I found that I wanted more of the Lost Lagoon showing instead of just that little bit. So I ended up cutting it 1/4 of an inch smaller. Plus, some people don't like 1/8 inch, right? And then we'll take our fun plaid embossed Lost Lagoon. This was one of the first embossing folders that I had to have from the catalog because I love it. It doesn't surprise me that it's on back order right now because it is fabulous. I'm hoping they keep it in the next catalog. All right, so this is going to go right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue just towards the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here right towards the top so I don't accidentally go too high on my piece. And then I'm going to stand up and try to center this. That looks pretty good. All right, we forgot to color in our little pumpkin. Again, you could use Calypso Coral if you wanted to. I just ended up grabbing some pumpkin pie. And we'll go ahead and throw some glue on the back of that. And then to line it up, whoa, don't want to put that in the glue. I go ahead and line it up on here so that it is straight. And then I close this. And then if I have to just like move it just an inch or two, now it doesn't show. Now, if you wanted to make this into a gift card holder, you could put some of the designer paper or any color paper on the back here, and you could just like put adhesive on those three sides so that you could tuck the gift card in from the top of that. So you could very easily make that into a gift card holder. Then I have our adhesive back swirl dots, and we'll take, so I'm going to put it on this little bit of my adhesive that I pulled off is showing there. There we go. I'm going to use these lighter ones. Don't have as many dark ones left because of the card that I did in my card buffet. So I'm going to just go ahead and put one there. And come on. These are all the same size. I'm going to put one up here just to add a little bit of that soft color that we had there. And we'll do one more to get right there. Nothing's better than pumpkin spice, except maybe you. So in this, if you are a peppermint person, you could use one of those Christmas DSP, and you could replace that with Christmas, and you could do nothing's better than peppermint. And I don't know how you could make mocha. There's cocoa, but I don't see like a capital M anywhere. So you might have to just do peppermint by itself and then just put like a little peppermint, like the little candy cane, or you could make this looking peppermint with red and white. So cute. All right, now let's go ahead and add our piece of paper. I just did designer paper for both of them today. You could do a little pumpkin like we did on the inside. If you wanted to, instead of having to use more designer paper on the outside for an envelope, you could do a lot of different things. I was in a hurry, so I just grabbed the DSP. So we'll go ahead and cut around this so that we match. Now I have some swap cards coming, and I'm guessing there's probably going to be some swap cards that use this set when I get those. But so there is our Nothing's better than pumpkin spice. We've got our wishing you, whoops, here's the one we did today. Wishing you a holly jolly Christmas, the little extra one of that. Here's the card that the ladies did in my card buffet this month. So this was not the double door where you do it, but it's kind of like the fold that we did last week, but we didn't put it on something else. I did two little cups. And instead of doing the paper piecing, I colored it in, but then I stamped those pumpkins in the center of it as just like a little decoration there. Um, so there's a couple of different ideas with the More Than Autumn stamp set. And then we've got a couple of different Christmas cards here with the fun layout that we had in our holiday catalog. All right, let me get my light. And I'll come back to you. Let's see, I gotta do this and this and this. Oh, there we go. I made it through. Let's see. Love your card buffet coffee. Yeah, it was fun. I did that one. I think I showed that a couple weeks ago when I was I don't know what I was showing, but I ended up, I think, showing that card. But I just love this little latte or the little coffee, More Than Autumn. There's a lot of different things you can do. There's pumpkin pie on there, there's apples, there's gingerbread. Like I said, there's donuts. So there's a lot of different things that you could do with that set. So all right, that's what I have for today. I am going to, like I said, next week I'm going to come up with a creative challenge. The creative challenge will be for 2 weeks from next week because I don't want all of it to be due on the day that I'm doing the card making day, World Card Making Day. So Stampin' Up is having an event on World Card Making Day. It doesn't start until I think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon our time. It might be 2 o'clock in the afternoon our time. Let me look at that flyer. I think I have it here somewhere. Let me look. Yes, there it is. It doesn't say a time on there. It's either 2 or it's 3. I think for now that I'm thinking of it, it might be 2 o'clock. But I will be going live before that with my event that I'm having personally. You do not have to pay to watch the event. The event, someone said, do you have to watch it live? You don't have to watch it live. It will be posted later for you to go back and watch it again. Some people have purchased kits ahead of time. Those will be going out in the mail, I'm hoping by Monday. That's my goal right now. So that you will for sure have those with plenty of time. That gives them a whole week to get there this week, and you don't need them until the next Saturday. But it will have the supplies that you need to make the cards along with us, along with some other goodies that were in with those bundles. So you purchased the gems that are going to be used on each of the different cards and some of the ribbons and papers and things like that. So that stuff should all be going. Everything is here. I just have to finish cutting it and getting it off in the mail. So Monday is my goal. I'm not going to be too hard on myself if it doesn't happen on Monday. Like I'm not going to pull an all-nighter Sunday night. If it has to, it could go out Tuesday or Wednesday and still have plenty of time to get there by World Card Making Day. So that is it. Oh, it's 1 p.m. Central Time. Rosie's saying. Okay, thank you. I don't know, for some reason, I thought that it was later than that. But okay, thank you, Rosie, for chiming in on that time. And if you go to the Stampin' Up website, you will see the information there as well. And there's a little button that says that you can register. And I don't even know if you can, I think you can still register up until like the day before or something. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you can find some time to be creative this weekend. I'm going to go clean stamps and put them away from my card buffet and try to get my house back in order because I have all my tables. I have tables set up, plus I have my dining room table all just covered in stuff right now. So I just have to get to the bottom of it and put my fall decorations back out, and then I can have it that way for like about 3 weeks until I have my card buffet again. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you again next weekend. Next weekend, I will be at 8:30 in the morning again. Thanks so much. See ya. Bye-bye.